Mrs. Robertson, and we're making our recording in first period this morning. Welcome back from Thanksgiving break. We are on lesson 4. It is chapter 6, lesson 4, located on page 461. All right, there is a little video clip you can watch to go along with this lesson. We're not going to watch it right now, but feel free if you're at home to watch the lesson there. Okay, airports. Missouri has 8 major commercial airports. California has 24 major commercial airports. Alabama has 4 fewer airports than Missouri. Underline the key word in the problem. Well, here the key word is fewer. Everyone underline that word. Circle the operation you would use to determine how many airports are located in Alabama. Fewer means we're going to do what? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide. Subtract. So circle subtract. Okay? And then explain. Well, the key word is fewer, which means to subtract. Fewer, let's just write down fewer means to subtract. Okay? Now in part 2, California has 3 times as many airports as Georgia. Underline the key math word in the problem. What's the key math word in this one? I would say it's more than one word. 3 times. Yeah, here we have times. And it's 3 times as many, but the main word here is times. Circle the operation. What do you do when you see the word times? Multiply. That's right. So you're going to multiply 3 times Georgia's number. Multiply 3 times Georgia's. Airports. Now, number 3. Missouri has 2 times as many airports as Ohio. How many airports does Ohio have? Missouri has 2 times as many airports as Ohio. So what are we going to do to figure out how many Ohio has? This, are we going to add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Which one of those things am I going to do in there? Divide. At first I thought, oh, it's going to be a greater than or less than, but no, it's going to be divide. 8 divided by 2 tells you that Ohio only has 4 major airports, according to this. Okay, let's go on to the next page. Write phrases as algebraic expressions. To write verbal phrases as algebraic expressions, follow the steps below. In the second step, defining the variable, choose a variable and decide what it represents. Okay, they love for you to do this in iLearn. Choose a variable. All that means is a letter and tell me what the letter represents. That's all that choose a variable means. You choose a letter and you tell me what it represents. Okay, so words. Describe the situation. Use only the most important words. Variable. Choose a variable to represent the unknown quality. Now, a variable is a letter, okay? Usually it's an X, a Y. That's what a variable is, a letter. Expression. Translate your verbal phrase into an algebraic expression. All right, let's get going on this. In example 1, write each phrase as an algebraic expression. $8 more than Ryan earned. More than are keywords. What do you do for more than? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide, kids? More. Add, thank you. We're going to add. So $8 more than Ryan earned. The variable. Let D represent the number of dollars. So they decided D is your variable. You don't have to use a D. They chose D. Model. Ryan earns D. D8. The expression D plus 8. They have just made this too complicated. $8 more than Ryan. So you have D plus 8. Okay, just write D plus 8 for that. Now, see that word than? Circle the word than. When you see this word, T-H-A-N, that means what is in front goes behind and what's behind goes in front. $8 is in front of the word than, so it's going to go behind the plus sign. It's really important for less than, because less than is subtracting and you get the wrong answer. If you put the 8 in front of the D when you're adding, it's okay because of the commutative property, which we're going to learn about the properties tomorrow. Let's go to the next one. Number 2, $10 less than. Okay, let's underline the words less than. That means we're going to do what? Less than, class, means to subtract. Okay, now we have to define a variable. You want to use, they said let P represent the original price. So we're going to use P for the original price. So P, let's just write this again over here. P equals price. Okay? Any questions on how I define my variable? Now, we're going to subtract, right? So I put my subtraction sign. $10. Since we have the word than, 10 is going to go behind the subtraction, and our original price goes in front. So it's P minus 10. Do you see how I wrote that? Alex, lift your head up for me just so I know you're paying attention. Did you write down P minus 10? Good. Now let's go on. Oh, this is an important little box. You can write 10 more than a number as either 10 plus P or P plus 10. But 10 less than a number can only be written as P minus 10 because its subtraction is not a commutative property. We'll talk about that tomorrow. All right, let's go to the next page. 463, number 3. 4 times the number of gallons. Okay, these are easy. You just are going to multiply, right? 4 times the number of gallons. Okay, so on this problem here, let's let G equal the term gallons, all right? So I'm going to say G equals gallons. Write that down. I guess we could write it down here. 4 times the number of gallons. The variable, I'm going to use G represents gallons. You can put GAL for short. Then, number of gallons. Oh, the model. How many gallons? 4 times. So let's cut this box into 4 pieces. And just put a G in each piece. The expression is 4 times G. Now kids, in algebra, when a number is next to a variable, that means we are multiplying. You could do 4.g, that means the same thing. You could do 4 parentheses g, okay? But if you do 4xg, the x is a popular variable. They're going to think it's an x instead of a multiplication sign. So don't use that way. Use a dot, or when a number is next to a variable, it just means to multiply. Now let's do A, B, and C. 4 points fewer than the Bulls scored. Okay, fewer means we're going to subtract. There's the than word. And I'm going to use B equals Bulls. All right, so we're going to have B minus 4. Do you see how I got B minus 4? All right, the next one, who would like to read letter B for me? Go right ahead. Okay, I'm going to let F equal feet. Define my variable. F equals feet. It didn't tell you you had to define them, but I'm just going to do that. So the answer for this would be 12 times F. Okay? 12F. That means 12 times f. If you still don't feel comfortable doing that, you can do 12 dot f. Okay? How many of you still want to put a dot in front of it there like that? Are you all comfortable with doing 12f? Whoops, get there. Okay. The total cost of a shirt and a pair of socks. What do you do for the word total cost? You're going to add. That's right. So I'm going to say S equals shirt. So it's going to be S plus 8. Now you have to be careful because sometimes S's can look like 5s. Okay? So I put little extra curly Q's on mine. Any questions on our one-step equations? Good. Now we're going to go on to the two-step equations. Example 4. Write the phrase 5 less than 3 times a number. Well, here we have less than and times. All right. What do you do for less than, kids? Subtract. So I'm going to put down a subtraction sign. This is my technique. Now, 5 is in front of it, so where do I put the 5? Is the 5 going to be in front or behind? Because it has the word then, the 5 is going to go behind it. Does everyone have that written down so far? Put down your minus, and the 5 goes behind it. Everyone got that? Alex, you got that part written down? Now we're ready for the second part. The second part is this here, 3 times the number. How do I write 3 times the number? 3 in. Here you have it. This goes in front of the subtraction sign because of the word than. 3 in minus 5. Do you see that? Write the phrase 5 less than 3 times the number. That's it. Got it? Okay. Now let's go on to letter D. Write the phrase 3 more than 4 times the cost. Okay. What symbol do I use for more than? What does more than mean? Add, subtract, multiply, or divide? Add. So put a plus sign. Now, the 3 is in front of it. Since it has the word then, where does the 3 go? Behind it. And how do I write 4 times the number? 4 in, or we can, if you want to use C equals cost, you say C equals cost. So it's going to be 4C. 4C plus 3 or 4N plus 3. Okay? Is defining the variable sometimes tricky for you? You can use any letter for your variable, okay? I just don't like the letter O. Why would I not like the letter O? It looks like what number? Right. Okay, let's go to the next page. Example number 5. Oh, fingernail polish. I was busy painting granddaughter's fingernails this weekend one day. Oh, it was a mess. Terry bought a magazine for $5 and 2 bottles of nail polish. Write an expression to represent the total amount she spent. Well, total means I'm going to add, right? Then find the total amount if each bottle of nail polish is $3. Well, she bought a magazine, so that's $5 plus 2 bottles of nail polish. I'm going to call that 2P. All right? That's my expression. Total means we're going to add $5 plus 2 times the cost of a nail polish. All right? Now, do we know how much her nail polish costs? How much does it cost? $3. So now we're going to replace P with a 3. So it's going to be 5 plus 2 times 3. Do you see how Mrs. Robertson writes that in parentheses? That means multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. So what's 5 plus 6? And you get the answer 11, which is what they have here. All right, any questions? Go ahead and do the guided practice. I'm going to walk around the room and then we'll go over these answers. Okay, so let's see what our answers are for number 1. 4 times more than Elliot saved. 4 times more than Elliot saved. So on that, define a variable. I'm going to define my variable as m equals money. And it's going to be 4 times m. Okay. Half as many pages as George read. So I'm going to put P for pages. Now you might have used a different variable. It's okay. Half as many, so you could do it like this. 1/2 times P, or you could do 1/2 times P. See how I use that little everyday math one? You could have written it as 1/2 P, or these are all the right answers. You could do P over 2. Now, as you go on in mathematics, this is the popular way you're going to be writing it in 7th and 8th grade. You'll write it like that. When you have half of something, it just means you're dividing it by 2, okay? So that's the popular way for 7th and 8th grade. So see how many choices you could have to show for the answer? Let's go to number 3. The width of a box that is 4 inches less than the length. Less than. Ooh, that means I'm going to subtract. I put my subtraction sign down. For this, I'm going to do the width of the box that is 4 inches less than the length. I'm going to use the variable L. So L equals length. So the width of the box that is 4 inches less. So the 4 goes behind that and the L goes in front. L minus 4. The trickiness about this one is it has the word width. The cost of 5 CDs and a $12 DVD. Do we know how much a CD is? No, so I'm going to use C equals cost. So we know 5 times C, and means usually plus 12. That's your expression. Now, expressions do not have equal signs. When you put an equal sign in, then it turns into an equation. Equations have equal signs. All right. Number 5. Shoko, I'm not sure how you would say her name or his name, bought a box of popcorn for $3.50 and 3 medium drinks. Define a variable and write an expression to represent the total amount they spent. Okay, I'm going to use D equals drinks, okay? The variable D equals drinks. So we have the popcorn, which is $3.50, plus how many drinks did they have? 3D, 3 drinks. See that expression? That says 3 times D. Now, if 1 drink costs $1.50, what's our answer? So now we will have $3.50 plus 3 times $1.50. Well, 3 times $1.50 equals 0. Put down a 5, carry a 1. $4.50. So $3.50 plus $4.50 equals a total of $8. Any questions on that? Okay, what are we going to do for homework? Your classwork homework, you're going to do page 465 all. Okay, then turn the page. On this page, I want you to do number 8. And then on page 467, do 15 to 21. "15 is already done for you. All right. So on this page, 15 to 21. We'll probably go over some of these before the end of class and we'll grade them then. All right.